Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Long live Palestine. All right, people. Here we go. Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
2, 4, 6, 8, smash the Zionist settler state! 2, 4, 6, 8, smash the Zionist settler state! 2, 4, 6, 8, smash the Zionist settler state!
2, 4, 6, 8,
Smash the Zionist settler state! Woo! Yeah! I hear you all. What do we want? Divestment.
Hey.
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Divestment!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Divestment!
When do we want it?
Now!
And if we don't get it?
Shut it down!
If we don't get it?
Shut it down!
What do we want?
Divestment!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Divestment!
When do we want it?
Now!
And if we don't get it?
Shut it down!
Because we're here to say, not another nickel, not another dime, no more money for Israel's crimes. Not another nickel, not another dime, no more money for Israel's crimes. Not another nickel, not another dime, no more money for Israel's crimes. Not another penny, not another dollar. We won't pay for Israel's slaughter.
Not another penny, not another dollar. We won't pay for Israel's slaughter.
Not another nickel, not another dollar.
Another nickel, not another dollar.
No.
For Israel's slaughter.
Yes, I
It doesn't really matter what the first
Woo! But do we want our money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation.
Money for
Jobs and education, not for war and occupation. Money for jobs and education, not for war and occupation. And hey, ho, ho, the occupation has got to go. Hey, ho, ho. The occupation has got to go, hey, ho, ho.
The occupation has got to go,
hey, ho, ho. The occupation has got to go, hey, ho, ho. The occupation has got to go, hey, ho, ho. The occupation has got to go. And we're here to say, Planeteer, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Palantir, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Palantir, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Palantir, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Palantir, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. CalSTRS, you will see. Palestine will be free. CalSTRS, you will see. Palestine will be free. CalSTRS, you will see. Palestine will be free. It's from the belly of the beast. If there's no justice, there's no peace.
From the belly of the beast.
If there's no justice, there's no peace. Belly of the beast. If there's no justice, there's no peace.
From the belly of the beast.
There's no justice. There's no peace. Israel bombs, USA pays. How many kids did they kill today? Israel bombs, USA pays. How many kids did we kill today?
Israel bombs, USA pays. How many kids did you kill today?
We're out here to honor all of our martyrs, all the children, the sons and daughters, all the parents, mothers, and fathers. Brought us out here because we will not back down. We're here to say, free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Long live Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
2, 4, 6, 8, smash the settler Zionist state! 2, 4, 6, 8, smash the settler Zionist state! 2, 4, 6, 8, smash the settler Zionist state!
2, 4,
6, 8, smash the settler Zionist state! We're here to say no to normalization, we demand full liberation! No to normalization, we demand full liberation!
No to normalization.
We demand full liberation! All right, y'all! Make some noise for our first speaker! Free, free Palestine!
free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
All right, y'all. My name is Christina. I'm a Palestinian-American teacher from the Bay Area.
Berkeley!
I'm excited to be here in San Diego today with all of you. Thank you all for turning up. I'm a member of CalSTRS Divest, which is a grassroots teacher-led divestment campaign. 1 year ago, teachers in Berkeley discovered that our pension, CalSTRS, was heavily invested in companies directly enabling and facilitating the Gaza genocide. Shame. There are over $1 billion invested in both the Israeli occupation and the genocide in the form of defense companies, companies that build bombs and weapons that are dropping on the schools and the hospitals and the universities in Gaza. There are companies that make mass surveillance and AI technology that help things like Microsoft and Palantir, who we are specifically highlighting today, that provide software for the Israeli military to target civilians. Shame. We started this campaign 1 year ago, and since then, CalSTRS has grown in their value by $8 billion. What we have learned is that the genocide is profitable. It is profitable to these billionaire CEOs who enable the genocide, who provide the materials so that the genocide can happen. Why? Because they're making money off of it. Shame. While our Congress decides to cut things like Medicaid and education and cut services to the national parks and education, special education services for language learners, they're also voting to give more money to the Israeli Zionist settler state to continue their ethnic cleansing campaign of the Palestinians. And we as teachers are doing extremely important work on so many fronts. We as teachers are educating our kids to abandon a colonial mindset through ethnic studies. And our pension fund, what we pay into, our obligatory pension funds, we don't have a choice, right? As soon as you become a teacher, 10% of your paycheck is taken out. You don't get to decide how that's being invested. The CalSTRS board has decided to make 1 million CalSTRS members complicit in the ethnic cleansing and genocide of an entire ethnic group. Shame. We refuse to be complicit. We're teachers. We have values that are in direct contradiction with investment in companies like Palantir and Chevron and Lockheed Martin and Boeing and Northrop Grumman. We don't want anything to do with them, and we don't want blood on our hands. And so we're here today because inside the Marriott right behind us is the CalSTRS board meeting. This is their special summer meeting. They do not have divestment on the agenda, but we have come to them and we have told them about our campaign. They know what our demands are, which is total divestment from companies that are making this happen to the Palestinians. We gave them a list this week with about 19 companies on it, including Palantir, that show that these companies are not going to respond to engagement. They're not going to change their behavior by any means. Like, there's nothing that's going to change Palantir's stance and change their position. The CEO, Alex Karp, has even come on record in 2024 saying that he defers to Israel, that Israel is actually justified and that they're right in what they are doing. The CEO openly supports genocide.
as teachers, as CalSTRS members, whose money is being managed by the CalSTRS board, to demand from them, they who work for us, we demand from them that our money is immediately removed from those investments. We don't want our hands to be bloodied with the blood of Palestinian children and civilians. So we're here today in front of the Marriott. We will be marching inside at the end of our rally. And I thank everybody for showing up today for Palestine and for Gaza, and to make sure that your presence here helps us communicate that there is a large group of CalSTRS members who want to see this happen, that we want to get that meeting with the CIO, Scott Chan. He knows that we're here. He knows what we want. And we're here to show him that this movement is growing. It's not a question of if, but a question of when Palestine will be free. Thank you, and free Palestine!
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 All right, everyone. I'm Gillian. I'm a high school teacher in Los Angeles. I'm also a mother of 2 children. I have a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. And since this genocide began, I have held my children every night, understanding what a privilege that is, and that my security is coming at the cost of children around the world who are under the foot of American imperialism.
Thank you.
Right? Okay. And so as a CalSTRS member, I cannot allow my future security to be based on the blood of children in Gaza and the occupied West Bank right now. I'm going to be helping with some of the emceeing today. And so I'm excited. Our next speaker is Dr. Erin Evans, who is a teacher here in San Diego and a member of AFT and serves on the San Diego County Board of Education. So what we know is that this is an issue that CalSTRS members from the very north of California all the way to the very south of our state are feeling angry and passionate about. So thank you, Erin.
Thank you all. I am so glad to be in this fight with the teachers. I am so glad to be in this fight with students, with lifelong learners, with staff at schools. There are no better people to be taking up this fight than us. I want to start by sending a message to CalSTRS, which is the blood is on your hands. 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 Thank you. So it is a cruel irony that our retirement funds, that the retirement funds for teachers is being used to martyr children, to attempt to destroy an entire culture. It is a cruel irony, and we will not stand for it. We are here for the long fight. Divestment campaigns take a long time. If you think of South Africa and the anti-apartheid regime, the anti-apartheid movement against South Africa took decades and decades of fighting, and we are ready for that. This has been happening to Palestine long before October 7th. Long before then. There's been a part-time regime that has been inflicting structural violence on families in Palestine for decades. This is just the climax to that, and we are ready for the fight. All they've done is prepared us for this fight. I don't want my retirement to be tainted with blood. I don't want my retirement to have the blood of martyred kids, of families, all over it. I don't want my retirement to be like this. I know you don't either. And we are all here ready to fight for that. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Divest now! Divest now! Divest now! Divest Up next, we've got
Sarina?
Oh my gosh, of course, up next, we've got Sarina Cruz. Sarina Cruz, an amazing student that I've known for a couple of years now, is going to come up as Sarina is a member of AFT's student internship program and also a member of Students for Justice in Palestine.
Buenas tardes, everyone, and good afternoon. My name is Sarina Cuza, and I serve on the board of Students for Justice in Palestine at San Diego City College. I stand before you as a student, a survivor, and a seeker of justice. Students for Justice in Palestine exists to educate, mobilize, and organize for the liberation of the Palestinian people. We believe in a world where all people live free from occupation, surveillance, and apartheid, where a dignity and self-determination are not just ideals, but rights. We work to expose the systems that uphold settler colonialism, and we build solidarity across struggles, because none of us are free until all of us are free. I grew up in foster care, so I know what it's like to be displaced, to feel like your life is decided by people who've never looked you in the eye, who speak about your future in boardrooms without ever asking your name. I know the trauma of instability. I know what it means to have your humanity reduced to paperwork and policies. And maybe that's why Palestine speaks so deeply to my spirit, because I recognize the pain of being made invisible. But Palestinians are not invisible. They are living, grieving, resisting, and the world must stop looking away. Over 400,000 Palestinians, thousands of them children, have been killed in Cuza. Entire generations are being erased, and the systems that enable this violence are being funded by the institutions we are all connected to. Institutions like CalSTRS, the California State Teachers Retirement System, which continues to invest billions of dollars in companies that profit from the suffering of Palestinians. This is why we are here today, calling for total divestment from all companies enabling and profiting from the genocide in Cuza. This includes weapons manufacturers, surveillance firms, the private contractors whose technologies and tools are directly used to maintain occupation and expand ethnic cleansing. Let me be clear, this is not a suggestion. This is a demand. Demanding that CIO Scott Chair meet immediately with the campaign organizers. No more closed doors, no more delays. This bloodshed is ongoing. This conversation is long overdue. We insist that CalSTRS must not participate in the economy of genocide, where companies and yes, even some of our own union members profit from corporate-driven oppression, not just in Cuza, but right here in our very own streets. Take Planter as a prime example. Planter holds contracts with the Israeli military and with ICE. It builds the digital infrastructure that enables ethnic cleansing abroad and immigrant raids right here in our very own homes.
Talk about it.
When we say struggle is connected, we mean it. Intersectionality, the same surveillance and software is used to track Palestinian civilians is used to rip families apart here in the U.S. The same money that builds drones over Cuza pays for ICE vans rolling through our neighborhoods. This is a system that criminalizes black and brown bodies across borders, and that not just is an injustice, but an atrocity. And to my fellow students of color, especially those in ethnic studies, this isn't just theory. This is why our disciplines exist, to connect histories of colonization, to uncover the machinery of oppression, and to confront the legacies of empire. If we are serious about the principles that we teach of intersectionality, of solidarity, and of liberation, then we must act on them. When CalSTRS invests in companies like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Caterpillar, and yes, Planter, it's not just a financial decision. These are companies that design the bombs, bulldozers, and algorithms of death.
That's right.
These investments are deadly and dangerous, not abstractly, but in real time, real people, real bodies, and real loss. To those of us who hold our futures in these pensions, how can we stand by while our funds are used to fund genocide? This is not neutral investing. This is funding for violence. To the educators who taught us how to think, how to question, how to dream, you taught us that silence in the face of injustice is a form of violence. You taught us that our voice, that I'm now here to ask, what is your union funding? Whose freedom is being traded for financial comfort to the labor unions? The Palestinian struggle is a labor struggle. Hussa's workers are under siege. The West Bank's laborers pass through humiliating checkpoints each and every single day. If your union believes in worker justice, it must include all workers. You cannot separate economic justice from global solidarity. To CalSTRS, you have a responsibility. You are entrusted with the future of countless educators and workers. You cannot claim to be a force for good while investing in the matriarchy of occupation and the machinery of occupation and apartheid. If we are truly committed to a just and peaceful world, we must divest, and we must divest now. And to my fellow students, remember that we have always been the pulse of resistance. From South Africa to Standing Rock, from the Vietnam War to Palestine, students have moved the moral compass of nations. We are not just the future, we are the present. And we will not let this genocide happen in silence, because when I think of the children in Hussa, I don't just see statistics, I see myself. I see every kid who's ever had to grow up too fast, every child who's ever wondered why the world has looked away. We cannot look away. We must divest from genocide, from apartheid, from complicity. We must invest in justice, in dignity, and in humanity. CalSTRS, please, I beg you, you must divest now. Stand with Palestine and stand for justice. Thank you.
Palantir, you can't hide.
We charge you with genocide. Palantir, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Palantir, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide.
So up next we have Curtis Wong.
I just really want to appreciate Sarina for what you shared, really drawing those connections. We know that this is an interconnected struggle. It has to be an interconnected struggle. No one can be free until Palestine is free. So thank you so much for definitely making those connections. And people say, you know what? That's a dream. That's unrealistic. This is capitalism. But we know that it is possible to call for divestment, to make change. And our next speaker is Curtis Walker, who is a member of the San Diego Educators Association and also serves on a fund here that provides retirement support to retired educators here. So we are making the connections and we do have the power. Curtis.
Alrighty. So, hi, my name is Curtis. I'm a teacher here in San Diego. I am a union member, a union representative for my school site. And last January, before January 20th, the San Diego Education Association signed on to a proclamation with thousands of other organizations and people throughout the country. I'd like to read this to you. It's short, to the point, and let you know why this is not enough. So it reads that U.S. labor movement calls for ceasefire in Israel and Palestine. We, members of the American labor movement, mourn the loss of life in Israel and Palestine. We express our solidarity with all workers and our common desire for peace in Palestine and Israel. We call on President Joe Biden called on President Joe Biden and Congress to push for an immediate ceasefire and end to the siege of Gaza. And here's where I'm going to go off script a little bit. We called on Joe Biden, nothing happened. I think it's obvious that if we're going to make change, we all need to come together. Americans, Mexicans, Palestinians, everybody, we need to come together. We cannot bomb our way to peace.
Right.
We also condemn any hate crimes against Muslims, Jews, or anyone else. In issuing this call, United States unions are joining the efforts of 13 Congress members and others who are calling for an immediate ceasefire. The basic rights of people must be restored. Water, fuel, food, and other humanitarian aid must be allowed into Gaza. Power must be restored, and foreign nationals and Palestinians requiring medical care must be allowed out of Gaza. And right now, the United States isn't doing anything to help the people. And I don't know if you guys saw this the other day, China did an airdrop of thousands of packages of food. So who's going to win the hearts and minds of the people? The people dropping the bombs, the people dropping the food? What side do you want to be on? The Israeli hostages, on the side of peace. The Israeli hostages taken by Hamas must be immediately released. Both Hamas and Israel must adhere to standards of international law and Geneva Convention, rules of warfare concerning the welfare and security of civilians. There must be a ceasefire in Gaza now. The cycle of violence must stop so that negotiations for an enduring peace can proceed. The U.S. must act. We called on President Biden to immediately call for a ceasefire. Now, we know that, this is me going off the script here, we know that Trump won't do anything helpful after we saw how he escalated tensions by bombing Iran. So back to the proclamation. The road to justice cannot be paved by bombs and war. The road to peace cannot be found through warfare. We commit ourselves to work in solidarity with the Palestinian and Israeli peoples to achieve peace and justice. Union members come from diverse backgrounds, including Jews, Muslims, and Middle Eastern communities. The rising escalation of war and arms sales doesn't serve the interests of workers anywhere. In the end, we all want a place to call home and for our children to be safe. Working people around the world want and deserve to live free from the effects of violence, war, and militarization. Thousands of Americans have joined the groundswell of global solidarity, demanding a ceasefire now. It's the labor movement's turn to make our voices heard and demand a ceasefire. Together, we can stand for peace, justice, and a better future for working people everywhere. So that was a proclamation. Now, since our call for a ceasefire has gone unheeded, it's time to divest from companies like Palantir. When do we want to divest?
Now!
What do we want?
Divestment!
When do we want divestment?
Now!
Okay, Palantir and other companies like them, they're profiting off of the violence. Not only is Palantir profiting off the genocide in Palestine, they're seeking to use their AI surveillance technologies to terrorize people right here at home. A few weeks ago, we had an ICE raid in a neighborhood not too far away where they came in and hauled off a bunch of people working in a restaurant. They're terrorizing people. They're killing children, and they're destroying our local economies. They're destroying our peace. The continued support of genocide is reprehensible, and it's financially short-sighted. As if we allow CalSTRS to continue investing in these kinds of companies, sure, they're gonna make some profit in the short term, but it's gonna destabilize our democracy. The leaders of Palantir have expressly said they don't want democracy. They see that as a bug. They want to crush democracy. But you know what I say? I say the people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. Yeah. And it's more than just a chant. It's a truth. And those of us coming together here from throughout California, we are living proof that we will not be defeated. We will overcome. And when this is over and the people of Palestine are free and Palantir is a distant memory, what do the people running CalSTRS want to be seen as? Do they want to be seen as liberators or collaborators? That's up to them. Okay, that's my message. And if you haven't already signed our divestment petition, please sign that. And I'm going to hand off the microphone to... All right, thank you.
Oh yeah, and thank you so much for mentioning the petition. We really do want a lot of signatures because it's our way of showing CalSTRS that we have CalSTRS members and community members from all over California who support our call for divestment. So you can scan the QR code that's here on the banner, and also Ronan and Julie have flyers that they're passing out that also has that QR code. So please make sure that you do fill that out before you leave today. Also, I just wanted to mention, Curtis was talking about the role of the labor movement, and our campaign, CalSTRS Divest, has gotten endorsements and support from more than 14 unions across the state of California, including the California Federation of Teachers and UTLA, which is the second largest union in the country. And we're not stopping. We're getting more and more support from all over, including we got AFT locals from San Diego and everywhere. So now I'm going to pass it off to Francis.
Hi, Chris. And I'm here, Francis, it's okay. Our next guest is going to be taller, and I'm just staying for a second. So I'm with Activist San Diego, and we're here happy to welcome you all, and we're happy to amplify and support this movement. One of the founders of Activist San Diego is our next speaker, who he'll tell you about himself. Come on up, Martin Eder. Martin Eder.
I'm going to make this short because when we have teachers in the room, and I taught teachers, we got some of the smartest people on the planet, those who are really paying attention. I worked 20 years in the public education system, first teaching in high school. Then I was at Maricosta College for many years and ended up in the Graduate School of Education teaching bilingual education. The thing that occurs to me of the irony is that there are teachers, institutions, schools, students being bombed, being brutalized by the very institution that claims to be helping teachers. That is a shame. Hey! Shame on you. Let's hope that wasn't one of my students. It is our moral obligation. It is within our power to shut down injustice everywhere. And for myself getting a state retirement check, I gotta say, I don't want your bloody money if it's on the backs and the blood of other people in this planet who are being abused. No more blood. No more
blood. No more blood.
I'll keep it short, but I think the issue of Palestine really is one of the demarcation points of our society.
Yes, it is.
A recognition of what the role has been of the U.S. empire and the cruelty that it has rained on others as others get together and celebrate the 4th of July as a revolutionary country against colonialism, while at the same time today promoting the very thing that it claims to have been fighting. We know that we have in the White House a level of brutality that must be stopped. This is the last thing. Every one of us has got to do every possible thing. Be as organized as possible, be as conscious as possible, knowing that this dictatorship, this coming fascism that I used to say is kind of creeping up on us, is now a train rolling down at immense speed, and it's our job to derail that unjust system. Thank you so much.
Palestine to Mexico, all the walls have got to go. From Palestine to Mexico, all the walls have got to go.
That's right. Break those walls. All right. Our next speaker is Dr. Scott Kelley, who is a professor and a former K-12 teacher. Member of CREW, which I believe is doing some great organizing within the American Federation of Teachers. No, the National Education...
California Faculty Association.
California Faculty Association. So many unions. Such good things. All right. And a member of Democratic Socialists of America. Thank you, Dr. Scott Kelley.
Yeah, before I begin, I just want to acknowledge my Irish ancestors, my Irish relatives. Many Irish Americans here are here because of 800 years of colonization, land theft, ethnic cleansing, and enforced famine. And there's a direct connection between Ireland and what happened in Palestine, because they sent the black and tans from destroying Irish villages and fighting the Irish Revolution straight to Palestine to destroy Palestinian villages and people and kill them right there. That's exactly what they did. So there's a direct connection. And when Irish came here, what happened then? They were treated like dirt. They couldn't speak the language. They were Catholic. They were savages. And if it was 100 years ago, they would be sending us to Guantanamo Bay. That's why I talk to every Irish American should be out here right now. If you have any drop of Irish blood in this country, you should be for the Palestinians. And that's why Ireland is #1 in the West, because they know their history. I've been a professor at San Diego State for over 20 years, and I was also an elementary school teacher. And in both capacities, I have taught incredible young people, including new immigrants and children of immigrants. All this time, I have never seen my students so frightened for themselves, for their families, or for their loved ones. Every day, they worry that some masked ICE goon Gestapo brown shirt will knock on their door, tackle them at the grocery store, or abduct a loved one and ship them to another country. This is what's happening. One of my students, one of my students cannot sleep because her fiancé, who came here as a child, could be deported illegally at any moment, never to be seen again. Do you get this? It is unconscionable for a pension fund for educators to invest in companies like Palantir that are actively rounding up our students and their families for deportation while also making AI kill lists in Gaza. What do we think about that? It is unconscionable for a pension fund for educators to invest in companies like Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Boeing, who are generating massive profits on genocide by selling weapons that incinerate school children and have helped destroy, 100% of all the universities in Gaza. What do we think about that? It is unconscionable for a pension fund for educators to invest in companies like Geo Group or Avilo Airlines, who profit off the working class by building concentration camps like Alligator Alcatraz and flying human beings off to torture and death in Guantanamo Bay. What do we think of that? I have known for years, decades, about the apartheid state of Israel and how it treats Palestinians in education. One of my dearest friends is a Palestinian Christian. He's one of the kindest, generous, and most funniest human beings you will ever meet. During his Ph.D. in Israel, he was constantly abused by students for his ethnicity. When he finally returned home to a professor for the first university ever created by Palestinians, by a Palestinian priest, you know what happened? The Israeli government closed it down. They said, no more universities. We have too many. But what they really meant was that one university run by Palestinians was too many. That's what they meant. This is not the beginning of this. This is the end.
That's right, that's right.
Educators at all levels must stand up for equality and freedom and humanity of all peoples, and we can start by using the most powerful tool we have against fascist billionaires, money. It worked to help free South Africa, and it can work again. So what do we want?
Divestment!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Divestment!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Divestment!
When do we want it?
Now!
Thank you.
Fight the power, turn the tide, end Israeli genocide. Fight the power, turn the tide, end Israeli genocide. Fight the power, turn the tide, end Israeli genocide. Fight the power, turn the tide, end Israeli genocide.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So, I think it's really clear that we are in a battle that is not going anywhere. This is a fight that has been being fought by Palestinians for decades, for generations. And we see people pulling in, making like the connections between different communities here, students, teachers, educators, professors. Next we have Dr. Jun Yang, who is a CalSTRS member and sits on the AFT executive board. And we're very excited to bring her on over and hear what she has to say. So let's give her a big round of applause.
Hi everyone, my name is Jun Yang and I am a professor of philosophy, have been for 20 years, and an active member of AFT in 1931 for the same time. So I'm also a proud immigrant from Korea, and my family suffered so much violence from the Korean conflict. My dad actually died self-medicating with alcohol to treat his PTSD. He actually died at my age. So he told his daughters before dying of seeing his friends blown up and of starving on the streets of Seoul in wartime. He told us how flyers were dropped and they threatened nuclear annihilation, and his stories were absolutely and utterly terrifying. So after October 2023, when I had heard that flyers were being dropped in Gaza, I cried because it brought back all the stories that my father had told me. So I think it's really important to understand that in Korea, about 1.6 million of the civilians were killed by the military conflict. Palestine has 2.1 or had 2.1 million Palestinians. So just as a historical doom that Korea encountered, I think we're witnessing that as well now. I checked the stats today, 62,614 Palestinians, most of them women and children, have been slaughtered. At least 212 journalists have been killed. 1,500 healthcare workers have been killed. This has evolved into a full-blown genocide and theft of the Palestinian lands. I think we also have to be cognizant as teachers here that a full we have the third largest percentage of Palestinians in the state of California, which is a large number because we're a very populous state. And we have been silenced for too long to speak on their behalf. In Palestine today, if you follow the news, starving people who have been lured to food distribution sites are being murdered by snipers that are funded by us. Babies are dying of starvation because they're being denied formula, and when they do have it, they have no clean water. Shame. And how many dozens died today? We'll have to wait for tomorrow's news. So it's becoming harder and harder to look my students with relations in Palestine, all of my students in the face and tell them that we are ethical, because we are vested in a pension fund that supports this genocide. That's why I'm out here today. So we are not ethical as long as our pension is vested in war profiteering companies like Palantir. The good news is that divestment works, as many people have mentioned, as it did in South Africa. So today I speak, we speak for those who have been forced into silence. We speak for those who are dying right now. We refuse to profit from their death and their lived hell on earth any longer. So let's go in and tell them, divest now.
We want justice, you say how? Teachers want divestment now. We want justice, you say how? Teachers want divestment now. We want justice, you say how? Teachers want divestment now.
Yeah, that's right. All right, everybody. So, wait. No, all right. Okay. So, I really want to thank everyone who spoke right now. And we're not done raising our voices and sending our message. The next stage is we are going to go into the CalSTRS board meeting. We already have put in our comment cards. For some lack of democracy, we have a 10-minute public comment period at the only CalSTRS meeting that does not happen during school hours during the school year and is not located in Sacramento. So this is the most accessible public comment of the entire year, and we are going to use every single one of those minutes to send a very strong message. All right, but we want to be clear where we're at in this campaign. We have been organizing, we've been building our base. We've been meeting. We've met with the CalSTRS board member. We met with their director. Oh, we got to get a little closer.
Ask people to come closer.
Oh, you can also come on over. We can get friendly. All right, but I'm also going to breathe on the microphone a little bit more. All right.
Spray.
That's right. We got spray. We got spray. All right. So we have met with they're basically their HR person, and we have asked for a meeting with the CIO, whose name is Scott Chan, because he has the ability to help divestment begin with these companies that we have identified are supporting this genocide, ethnic cleansing, occupation, and apartheid of Palestinians. And as many speakers made the point before, also the ethnic cleansing of our own communities here in California and across the country. All right, so we are asking for a meeting with Scott Chan. We emailed him we emailed Diane Stanton, the HR, basically the PR person, and so they have that demand. We are still in the place of building up these asks, so we are not getting too adversarial at this time. So we're gonna ask when we go inside that we all walk in with respect. We're here to make our voices heard. Now, if they don't listen to us, the next stage is going to be a little more escalatory. That's when we come back to them and we say, why aren't you meeting us? Why aren't you divesting from these companies? There is no reason for our money to continue to be supporting this genocide. All right? So that's going to be our next step. And in order to make sure that we can do that escalation, we need to show, we need to be able to prove that we really do have this support from California teachers, from CalSTRS members, from all over the state. So what we need everybody to do right now is we need you to scan this QR code, or you can ask Julie right over here, or Ronan, who is somewhere, okay, for a flyer, and that has the QR code. And right now we're asking everyone to sign the petition and then share that petition. Text it right away, right now. This is what we're asking for people to do, to 10 of your friends. And when you're done with that, use the phone for what it was made for, people. Make a phone call. Call one friend and tell them where you are right now, and tell them they need to sign this petition. Because why are California educators' money being used, our dollars being used right now to starve and terrorize an entire population in Gaza and the occupied West Bank? All right? So
we're going to have everyone do that while listening to music from DJ
put some music and we'll do the texting.
So we're gonna, we've got a little while before we have to go inside. So we're gonna use this time to do what Gillian just said. And we're gonna have some awesome music on vinyl from DJ Macatoni and Cheese. Let's give it up for our DJ. Welcome, Cisco. The option is throwing it down.
You are a CalSTRS member.
He's also an AFT intern.
Yes.